So we're going to look at a really nice decorative stitch now called Star Stitch, so called because it looks like a star. This is one on its own here. So it consists of an upright, large upright cross with a normal cross stitch over the middle basically. And you can do some really pretty things with it. You can put them together and put stitches inside. So I'll show you this in a minute, but let's just have a quick look at the actual stitch. Now I'm going to count holes. So this is 5 holes by 5 holes. So I'm going to come up on the left. Doesn't really matter where you start with this, and once you've done a few you can work out the best way for you. So I'm going to come across on the left and put my horizontal stitch in. So including the hole I came out of, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes down in the 5th hole. And there's my first stitch. Now it's 5 up as well, so if you want to count that, you can either go back to the middle there and count down 2 holes from there, or you can come from where the end where you went down and go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and that will give you the middle. It's worked across a square, so you need the middle of the square each time basically. So however you want to find the middle is up to you. And then we're going to go up 5 holes, 1 including the one I've come out of, 1, 2, 3 is in the middle there, 4, 5, and down in that 5th hole, and that gives me an upright cross shape. So now we need to hold that down with a little cross in the middle. Try and go the same way each time, so you always end up with the same stitch being the last stitch going in the same direction. So now I'm coming up inside that right angle there in the first hole nearest to the centre, and we're just going to put a cross stitch in there, so it goes 1, 2, 3. So this one is 3 holes by 3 holes. Come up in the opposite hole, so there's your right angle there, and it's that first hole in the corner, and we go diagonally across the middle, 1, 2, 3, and there's our cross stitch to hold it down. So it's kind of made of 2 crosses, an upright one and a normal cross stitch. So that's 1 stitch, so I'll do that again, and you can see how they connect up now. So if we share that hole, we can use that as hole number 1, and we can go down this time, it doesn't matter which way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's just really the last one that you need to keep in the same direction because you can see it. So you can either find the middle and come across 2 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the bottom cross is 5 by 5, the top one is 3 holes by 3 holes. So now making sure we go the same way as we did before. So the little cross over that middle section there, diagonally across, that's 3 holes, and then we come up in that hole there, right next to the centre, and we go diagonally 1, 2, 3. And if you work those together, you can get this kind of nice grid pattern going on here. So the end of the star, the sides here, is the starting hole for the next stitch, so you share a hole for the thread. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After a while you won't need to count the holes, you'll see the pattern forming, but count them if you need to, that's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the little cross in. Try and make sure that last cross is all going in the same direction. Mine always going bottom left to top right, just looks a little bit neater. The next one starts at the end of the previous one, goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the middle of the next. You can either go across 2 holes, down 2 holes. There's my underneath one, and there's the one over the top, and you can see that grid start to form now. So just put the last one in. What you can also do with this stitch is lock them together. You can do interlocking ones. If I just get rid of this colour here, I'll bring in this yellow. You can see here, so this is exactly the same stitch, but I've gone in between the purple ones. You don't have to do them a different colour. I've just done them a different colour so you can see what the pattern makes, but you could do them the same, so you could fill everything in this. It's quite a nice textured stitch, but otherwise it's exactly the same. So there's the end of this star and the end of this one, so you share that same hole, but otherwise we're just doing exactly the same count. So we're going to go up 5 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That shares the same hole as the end of this one and the end of this one. I'll do the same at the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You don't really need to count them now because your holes are already determined. And then the cross in the middle starts at the end of the cross of the previous one and finishes in that shared hole there. So you're just filling in really the gap with the same stitch. And as I said, you can either do the same colour if you want the solid fill, or you can make some nice patterns by changing your colours. And you can see now that you don't need to count it because it's just going from the points of each of the stars. See if we can get one more in down there. 2, 3, 4, 5. Counting that one because it's off the end. That shares that hole, shares that hole, and then you cross again in the same direction if you can. And there you can see how they lock really nicely together. So that is star stitch.